My name is Jesse Davis, host of the Penthouse Podcast, where I interview a lot of my longtime friends, some of the members of my club, and some of Wilmington's finest people. I am so excited to do this show, and I hope you will tune in. Thank you. Hey, so listen, first of all, I just want to welcome you back. You were my first guest. This is my 1 year anniversary podcast.
Oh my gosh, is it?
Yes, so...
what happened? Why are we so old? What is this?
I don't know what's happening. I feel like I was just at your birthday, like, a year ago.
Oh,
but
don't even.
Was it almost 2?
Was that her dirty 30 or was that 40?
Yeah, it was dirty 30.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So I don't want to go into too much because we did already touch on, you being a Wilmington native and, your parents are here and your family's here and you come as much as you can with your kids to see Mimi and everything. And, I just, first of all, I want to introduce you to Monica Fish. She's my new co-host. So Monica, Laura,
Such a
Monica.
pleasure. I don't know why it's, especially with the 1 year anniversary, this is the first time I'm actually meeting you.
Yeah.
I wore my colors today to show you my support.
Oh, we like that. We'll take that. Yes, ma'am.
So yeah, so she's my new co-host. She actually just flew in from New York this morning.
Oh my gosh.
I did. It was good, but I understand why you live in Florida now.
Yeah, I was gonna say, welcome back to sanity in North Carolina.
Yes.
So,
What was that like? So the funny thing was she was in New Jersey the night before, and I was driving back from Massachusetts, and I was like, just a wild shot in the dark. I was like, if Laura's, because do you still have your house in Jersey? Or that house?
No. In New York, we have a house.
Okay.
Outside of the city, yeah.
Okay, I knew there was something outside of the city somewhere over there. I've never been there yet, but
It's a good one.
so you look like you had fun last weekend. I finally saw you cutting up and having a good time on a boat.
Oh, on the boat. Yeah.
Yes.
We had fun. There was a nice little Trump boat parade. And there
Oh, it was
some
huge.
Boats going
Huge.
by playing some music that I was very familiar with. You know what I mean?
I love it. I
Yeah,
love
we
it.
had fun.
I was like, she's finally looks like she can have a good time. Like she's having on
Yeah,
a boat.
I take it hour by hour. So sometimes it's a good time.
There you go.
Sometimes, it's whatever. But we're trying.
So all right, so co-chair RNC. That's what it is right now, right?
That's
what's
the
happening.
number one. Yeah, that's
All right, so
certainly is.
first
We've
let's
got
get-
we
when
got
did-
a little election to win here. You may have heard about it. So
Yeah, I think I did. Somewhere
yeah,
along
this
the
wasn't a
pipeline.
role I ever anticipated, nor is it a role I really wanted.
Well,
to
you're
be
great
honest
at
with
it.
you. And so, yeah, there's been a lot. I was elected into this position in March, and that gave us 8 months until arguably the most critical election in any of our lifetimes, and certainly a big one. Had a lot of moving parts, and still moving, still crazy, and we're
Got that Trump train going. Choo choo.
Yeah.
So real quick, Laura, how many hours, or should I say minutes, did it take you to make that decision when you got that text or call?
Quite a few, actually. My father-in-law called me, and I really wasn't expecting that was the conversation I was going to have. And so I was kind of caught off guard, to be honest with you. And he explained it to me and said, I want you to be co-chair. And I was sort of like, what? Me? Are you sure? And he was like, this position's perfect for you. If you don't want it, no pressure, but think about it. And so I was like, okay, I'll think about it. But of course, in that moment, I was like, I don't know. I don't know that this is the right fit for me. My kids are so young and still require a lot of me. And I want to be an involved mom. I never want to.
You're a hands-on mom, 100%.
Yeah, I never want to farm that job out. So honestly, Monica, it took me like probably 2 days really to think about it, and what really actually drove me to say yes were my kids, because I said, gosh, I never want to look back and say, what if I had done that? What if I could have made a difference in some way and I didn't do it, and now the country is headed in an even worse direction than we already are in. And so I called my father-in-law back and I said, I'll do it. And so here I am. I can't believe it.
So for people that don't really know about that, so what are like the duties and the responsibilities that come with that position?
So yeah, I'm the co-chair of the Republican National Committee. We have two major political parties in America. One is the Democrat Party, one is the Republican Party. I am the co-chair, so basically second in charge of our entire party. That is nationwide. That means every state, every community, every county. We're the ones sort of at the top. And my co-chair, he's the chairman, I'm the co-chair. My partner in this is a man named Michael Watley, who was the chair of the Republican Party in the state of North Carolina prior to his position as chairman of the RNC. And so we have a lot of North Carolina representation, I'll tell you, at the RNC. And so, my duties, honestly, Jesse, day to day vary. This is typically a position that maybe doesn't get as much attention as it's getting with me
Right.
in this role. But I do a ton of media. I'm very media heavy, television, radio, podcasts. I do a ton of it all day, every day. I do a lot of fundraising. That's something that we were really behind on when I took this position. And we raised close to $600 million since I've been co-chair.
That's awesome.
I travel the country and do speaking engagements. We've been opening election integrity offices all over the country, which essentially is to ensure that we have a free, fair, and transparent election. There's no funny business in this election. I think you come out of 2020, a lot of people felt like maybe that was an election that didn't feel quite right to them for a lot of different reasons. We're trying to ensure we never see that happen again at the RNC. So that in day-to-day operations, setting up surrogate teams to go across the country, working with our comms team and on day-to-day activities, how this entire apparatus functions around the country in different ways. There are a lot of different hats to wear in this position, but I certainly think I've probably had the most unique role as co-chair of any previous co-chair of the RNC.
And you look good doing it.
Oh, you're very kind, because I don't get a lot of sleep these days, honey, so I'll take it all.
So you did the whole RNC. I saw the whole thing. It was great. I was on Ballhead. We were cheering you on. It was awesome. But I was were you happy with the outcome of everything?
Oh my gosh, yes. First of all, let me just say, our convention, the Republican National Convention, which was held about a month ago, was we had an amazing team on the ground, and there's a lot of pressure because that's the first convention, guys, that we had in this country in 8 years. If you guys remember, in 2020, we didn't have conventions because we had COVID. And so we had these kind of digital, remote things that, whatever, people spoke. It wasn't the same as that sort of energy you feel at an actual national convention like that. And so, I think we were so proud of that convention. It, really, I think, evoked a lot of positive emotions from people. There was a sense of unity, of forward motion, and of solutions to really what a lot of people have considered to be a very tough 3.5 years in this country. And we presented them there at our convention. I don't think you saw a lot of negativity, a lot of hateful rhetoric, which sadly we've seen out of the current convention, the Democrats convention, a lot of negativity towards Donald Trump.
A lot of name calling I've noticed on the other side.
It's been kind of tough to take, tough to watch. But yes, we were very proud. Thank you. And we also wanted real people to get on stage and talk. You often see a ton of elected officials and politicians. We could do that all day long, but we actually wanted to hear from real people in this country, and that's what we had on stage, and we were really proud of it. So thank you.
And your mindset, the fact that you had the strength after personally going through that family moment.
Yeah.
To walking into saying business face on, lights, camera, action, here we go, and also still be in that supportive mindset of that being your father-in-law. I cannot put myself in your shoes. I cannot imagine what that was like for the family.
Yeah, it was it was a really insane 48 hours, honestly. I think that obviously Eric and I talked about this when I spoke at the convention, Eric and I were watching in real time when an assassin tried to murder my father-in-law on a stage in Butler, Pennsylvania. I mean, we had the rally on. I was actually making dinner for my kids, and I had the TV on right behind them in the living room, which is kind of across from our kitchen in our house in New York. And I looked up, and my daughter goes, "Oh, Mom, look on TV. Look who it is." She just turned around and looked, and it was, of course, she wants to say, "Oh, Grandpa's on stage." The kids think it's really funny. And I looked down. I was peeling a carrot. And I looked down to peel the carrot, and I looked back up, and he was on the ground. And I didn't know what happened. And I heard my husband in the other room calling for me to come in there. And do you know that I carried that carrot and the carrot peeler around with me for probably 3 hours before I realized that I was still holding it, 'cause I was in total shock, obviously. So you went from us not knowing honestly what happened, which felt like an eternity. It was, 2 minutes maybe. And then we both were calling people we knew were physically there on the ground with him to see what was going on. And everybody tried to make us feel better. Oh, everything's fine. And we were like, no, we saw blood. We know there's something going on here.
Yeah, there's definitely.
He got up, he pumped his fist. That made us feel better, but you don't know until you know. And I would say it was probably 45 minutes later, we got a call from him. He was in the hospital in Pennsylvania, and it was obviously such a relief to all of us. But it was in that moment, as we're talking to him, that he confirmed to us, the show's going to go on. Like, we're not changing anything. The convention will still happen. And do you know, he was actually not supposed to come to our convention until Wednesday or Thursday, because he didn't speak until Thursday. And he said, I'm going to go tomorrow night, Sunday night, and I'm going to arrive in Milwaukee, Wisconsin on Sunday night. I'm going to be there every single day of that convention. So for me, as, you know, the co-chair of this party, and this is our convention we're putting on, I was like, oh my God, well, if he's going and he's going to be all business, you know, as you say, we're all have to put our business hat and face on. Obviously, I've got to do the same thing. And
roll your sleeves up. Let's go.
Yeah, so that's what we did. I followed his lead. We all followed his lead. And, yeah, it was.
You brought
it was
up
a
the
wild
fist
time.
up, and one of my friends, Lee, she dropped by this T-shirt she wants me to send to you. So I have to show you, since you brought that up.
Oh.
Look at this.
What do we got? Oh, yeah, look at that. That's epic. It's epic.
Listen, I have one even better.
She's got one even. Look at this one.
Crop top right here.
Oh, my gosh. All right, we all know my address, so.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She was like, she just dropped. Look at, there's another one.
Yeah. Well, that's what we're fighting for right there, Jesse.
Yes. And
That's
you're
it.
killing it.
Just when you thought you could go work out at the gym without.
Keep politics out of it. Yeah, right. It's impossible these days. Everybody.
But,
knows.
you know, and to get a little deeper with that, you know, it seems like, where is our president? Where is Joe Biden? Like, he's nowhere to be seen. He's nowhere to be heard. Last time I checked, he was like on a beach somewhere with his wife, like laying out under an umbrella. And it's embarrassing. And I'm not like, you know, it's hard to like fathom like that there's somebody that's supposed to be running the country and he doesn't even know what day it is.
It's embarrassing, but Jesse, it's frightening. Think about, we're seeing
got, like,
here
the
in the United States, obviously. We see Joe Biden relaxing out on a beach in Delaware. We see, right now he's in California. I think he's on like a week vacay in California after they ushered him out as quickly as they could from the DNC. But I'm seeing this, you're seeing this. Guess who else is seeing this? Xi Jinping in China is seeing this. Vladimir Putin in Russia is seeing this. Kim Jong-un in North Korea is seeing this. The Ayatollah in Iran is seeing this. The adversaries we have around the world and the people who want to attack America and want to see us fail and want to see us fall are also watching this. And our guy's checked out. He's not there. I mean, we've known he's been bad for a long time. Now that he's dropped out of this race, they're not even trying anymore to, bolster Joe Biden up and lie to us like they did for years about him. We all know he doesn't have the capabilities to run for 4 more years in office, but he shouldn't be in office right now. And that is
And the vice president, she's
scary
really
as a
not helping
citizen.
whatsoever at all. It's hard to watch the vice president claim that she could be a president.
Oh. It's silly and it's
And everything's fake. Everything's fake. It's fake this, fake that. Like now we don't even really know like what is it's hard to even know like what is with the AI stuff. Like that's a whole other thing we're experiencing now. Like that's what we're scared of with the election again is like I mean, it's so weird how they could turn a 1 into a 1 million nowadays. I mean, it's just so crazy. I mean, I did understand that there is some positives to it with like education, and I read about like there is some, with Google Maps. I mean, that's sort of AI, but like the way that they're this is scary that there's a fact that somebody could just finagle a couple things in the computer, and next thing you know that we could be in the same problem we had last time. So,
you mean when they lied to us about Hunter Biden's laptop not being real, being Russian disinformation? That was all a very orchestrated thing. 51 intelligence agents signing on to say, oh yeah, this is Russian disinfo. All the earmarks of Russian disinformation. It is very frightening. I am terrified personally of AI, and I don't like it for a whole lot of reasons. I think when you look at the things like songwriting, writing poems, writing a college essay, you take all of the human elements and emotion out of
Your
all
passion.
of it.
There's
And
no
it's just
passion
like,
behind it.
plug in what you want and it'll write it for you. And like, I worked really hard on all of my stuff.
right.
You know, I had to write, it was my daughter's birthday the other day. And one of the
Happy
things
birthday,
that they
Carolina.
asked us to do was to write a letter to our child as the parent. And then we came into class and Eric and I presented her, you know, our letter. And I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to write her a poem. And I wrote this poem 100% from my heart. I did not use any chat GPT, any of that garbage. And as I'm reading it to my daughter in front of her whole class, they start crying because I wrote it and it means
It was
something
from the
to
heart.
me.
It was legit.
We're losing all of that. I mean, let alone the fake stuff that AI can present and really just, it's terrifaying to think about what
And what I
headed
think
down.
is, so I'm in tech, and I was actually at a big AV event in New York. That's why I was up there. But I think what the struggle for the children of America today is really, like we were talking about it earlier, is the simple fact that we've seen the transition from, you know, AOL to .com days to today. So we've seen that evolution. The problem is these children that maybe aren't, you know, don't have the parents that are really paying attention to what they're viewing on the internet, and they're seeing different things that is the fake news, but what adults see on the television. But now that's being transformed into AI, and I think that's a struggle on being able to make those decisions.
Well, yeah, and you look at
It's a cop out,
you've
too.
heard
It's like
about
an easy-
all
it's
of
an
these
easy out.
instances in school where you have like some sort of a fake video, some sort of like pornographic video that comes out about some girl in school. It ruins her entire school life. And we all know, like, when you're in high school, like, that's everything. You don't have the ability to look beyond that and realize how you know, insignificant those things really are in the grand scheme of life.
Down the road,
It's
they
your
are.
whole
yeah.
world, and it ruins people's lives. And
The bullying behind it. It's
Yeah.
bullied. It's like, yeah, it's awful.
it's so scary.
I couldn't imagine being in like middle school, high school
absolutely.
nowadays. I mean,
I'm so glad my kids are little. They're 5 and 6 right now. My daughter just turned 5. And so I feel like I have some time to kind of get my head around the things that are coming at them. I mean, don't kid yourself. My kids are not getting a cell phone probably till they're like 16.
good
Honestly,
for you. Yeah.
there's no reason for it as far as I'm concerned.
No.
I know I'm going to hear they're whining and they're going to be mad at me. Don't care. They'll thank me one day. And I barely give them any contact with screens as it is. I use the old Bob Unaska routine, Jesse, which is get outside. I don't care what you do, just get outside.
Go play outside.
Yeah.
Get out of my hair.
That's it.
My parents would say, go play in traffic. I mean, they weren't serious about it, but, you know, sort of like. But, yeah, go to tree houses and go ride
Go
four-wheelers.
use your
and, like,
imagination. Go use your body. Go
paint.
do stuff. Yeah.
yeah.
We are the best aunt and uncle
Yes,
ever.
yes.
Because I don't have children either. So
I love Laura's parent.
yeah,
Laura's
I mean,
kids.
you're
Aw.
5 and
Parents.
6. That's such a innocent age, right? But my nephew just started his first day of high school in Wilmington, and I'm telling you, like,
High school.
High school.
Colton's going into middle school.
But that phone, he knows when he hangs out with Aunt Monica that there's no phone. Go play
What
outside.
school does he go to?
The Christian school, because there's not a Catholic private school. They were at St. Mary's, and now it's the Christian school. I think it's over in like Myrtle Grove, over in that
Oh,
area.
okay.
Wilmington Christian Academy?
Yes, that's
Yeah,
it.
Wilmington Christian Academy.
Well,
So-
yeah. I mean,
I
you're,
can't wait
you're
to
talking to an EA Laney alum here, so.
I wondered where you went. Okay, Laney.
South Brunswick over here, you know.
You know, my dad, speaking of AI, this is so funny. My dad sent me some, I don't even know what it was. It was like some write-up about me somewhere, clearly AI generated. And it had the wildest things in there I've ever heard about the time I spent as an Inside Edition correspondent in Afghanistan. I'm like, what the hell is this? But one of the things that it got wrong in there, it said that I went to New Hanover High School. I'm like, you know, of all the things, y'all could have somebody could have fact-checked this a little bit.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
Laney
for
High
sure.
School. So, I mean, no shade to the Wildcats, but EA Laney Buck for life. That's what's up. I'm just saying.
Well, but right now, you know, you're facing some challenges and some changes. And what are your hopes will happen this coming year end? I mean, I know what you want, but like, can you like kind of go into that a little bit?
Well, look, it's funny because Jesse, you know, I come home every Christmas. I bring my kids and Eric and the dogs, and we all go to my parents' house for Christmas in North Carolina. But if you ask me what my plans are after November 5th of this year, I cannot tell you. I have no idea, because that is the number one focus I have. It is, I've never been more focused on a goal and on a date in my entire life. And this is my third presidential election cycle. So that's saying a lot. But the stakes are very high. Look, I have a very prominent role in all of this. This is my family. It's my father-in-law. But I really do believe, unlike any other election we've ever seen in our country's history, there is such a different path depending on who wins on November 5th for the future of our country. And, you know, people can say things all day long about Donald Trump's personality, about the way he says things, about the things he tweets or he puts on Truth Social. But at the end of the day, this is a proven leader who kept us safe, who put more money in your pocket, who gave you a savings, who secured our southern border, who instead of having wars break out on his watch actually had peace agreements overseas. And you don't have to like someone to hire them to do a job. And I wish people would start looking at this election and at all elections, truly, like you're hiring somebody to do a job for you. Because that's it. Our elected officials, let's remind everybody, are working for us. We, the people, are in charge of this country, not them. And so you have Donald Trump on the one hand, who we've had as president, and we know how much different our life was and how much better off America and the average American was under his leadership. And then you have this crazy mess on the other side. This is a person in Kamala Harris who not a single primary vote was cast for. That's the process here in America. Our democratic process is to have we the people, again, vote for those to represent us, and you do that through a primary process. Kamala Harris was not voted for by a single person in this country. They voted for Joe Biden. The Democrat Party ushered him out quicker than they've ever done anything in their life. They stomped that fire right out. You have Kamala Harris, and the frightening thing is we would have an even more radical approach. And by that I mean communist and socialist in nature to a lot of things that this person and Kamala Harris wants to do for this country. We could not truly survive as the same nation under her leadership. And I'll put that in air quotes because she's been vice president for 3.5 years. Where has she been? What's she been doing? She's failed miserably as the borders are. She's tried to distance herself from that role, but she's let 11 million plus illegal immigrants in this country under her watch. She would be an utter disaster. She was rated as the most radical far left senator in the United States Senate when she was a senator prior to being vice president. And so the paths for America could not be more distinct or more obvious. And I implore people out there, take the names out of it, take the personalities out of it, and look at the policies and what these people want to do for the country. So you say, what's my goal for the year end? I have a goal up to November 5th, Jesse, and that is to make sure Donald J. Trump is elected as our 47th president of the United States. Outside of that, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, no idea, don't care. I'm going to cross that bridge when I get there. That's the goal, because nothing could be more important.
Well, I have to say this, outside of November 5th, when he does win the president.
Amen.
Election, yes. I'd like to know, because I thought I worked out a lot, but your arms have me beat by a long shot. So I said, she's definitely fitting in this incredible regiment for working out and eating. I'm sure you drink a ton of water. You got to tell me your secret.
Oh my gosh, that's very nice. Well, I'll tell you, I'm not working out to the same degree that I usually do, because I just don't have time for it, honestly. I did something crazy. On Monday night, I had my daughter, I was with her at her gymnastics class, and I signed up for a triathlon, which is this Saturday. Don't ask me how much I've trained for this.
No way, this Saturday?
I'm one of those. I'm one of these crazy people. So this morning,
a triathlete.
I woke up and I had to go swim laps at a gym down the street. I literally went and bought a day pass because I'm not a member of this gym, but I needed a pool that was open early to swim in. So I went and swam for an hour at this pool down the street at 5 o'clock this morning, because that's what you got to do. You just got to fit it in when you can. But
I mean, you're like a recording artist now. You're writing children's books. I mean, what does she not do? I don't.
So Laura, what I do like is, I'll tell you this. I signed up one time the day of a marathon, and the most I'd ever ran in my entire life was 8 miles. And I
Wow.
did in 4 hours and 26 minutes. I pride you on the triathlons because I'm not a good swimmer. And it's weird growing up from, in Raleigh coming to the coast. But the fact that you just up and sign up for that for Saturday, good for you.
I think one of the reasons I have been successful in a lot that I've done and kind of thrive in this really insane, fast-paced environment is because I love a challenge. And I like to keep things fresh and different and challenge myself and honestly do things that scare me. There's no scarier thing than having the weight of an election on your shoulders. But in much the same way, I love to do these kind of physical challenges. I love a Spartan race. I love signing up for those. But I've done this triathlon before. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, well, I kind of know what to expect. It's a fun one. It's right down the street from my house. I really have no excuse. Like, the starting line is like 2 miles away from my house. So I signed up for it because, honestly, I haven't been training like I normally do. And I was kind of like, I don't know. Let me see how this all works out. So I'll let y'all know Saturday around 9 o'clock. I should hopefully, knock on wood, be done with this. So I'll report back. We'll see.
Love it. Well,
Awesome.
good luck with all that.
Thank you.
It'll be great. Yes.
Well, thanks so much for coming on. I've been telling you about some little mysterious property my friend Kimber's been trying to put you on.
Oh, I know.
We're
Well, no
still
one would love
working on
that more
that.
than Linda Unaska to have me in the hood,
Oh, God. She
Yeah.
would love that. I mean, it's going to happen. We just
Well,
tell
and by the way, I tell Eric all the time, he knows this. If we ever buy another property anywhere, it is going to be Wrightsville Beach or Wilmington, North Carolina.
Yes.
There are no two
Yes.
ways about it. Sometimes he'll be like, don't you think one day we should have a farm somewhere? And I'm like, if that farm is in Wrightsville Beach, North Carolina, absolutely, babe. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, there's still property left, But yeah, Kimber's keeping an eye on that for you. But
Okay.
I wanted to ask, I know, the campaign trail, when is your next trip to Wilmington?
That is a great question. So I think there's a fundraiser. Some folks may be setting up for me in Wilmington coming up soon. And, North Carolina is an interesting state because there's a lot happening in that state. There have been a lot of people who moved in to North Carolina in the past several years from a lot of blue states. So North Carolina is purple. And obviously we've seen, yeah, it's true. We've seen some very tight polling on North Carolina. So I'm sure I will be there soon. I don't have
You make us
anything
look
right
really
now,
good.
Jesse, on the agenda, but I'm going to put in a good word for it because, again,
Okay.
Linda and Bob would love to see me. And Kyle and Celia, my brother and sister-in-law,
Ah.
are there too.
Oh,
So, yeah.
Gives us a chance to all bring us together, too, because
I
I miss
know.
you, and I'd love to see you in person. At some point down the road, we will do a podcast in person, I hope, at some point.
I mean,
But,
it may have to be after November 5th.
It's gonna
I'm
be.
not
It's gonna
lie.
be way on down. I'm not gonna bug you with this for a while. Hey, but listen, definitely it'd be nice if and when we could work it in, because I know the Republican Party of Wilmington. I mean, if we could even do like a fundraiser. Oh, where'd you go? What happened there?
She's there.
No,
Oh.
would you hit that X there? I can't see.
Uh-oh.
So, no, I was just hoping maybe if we did like a donor party at the Penthouse, do like a meet and greet, because everybody is always asking me, I want to meet Laura. I want to meet Laura, because they know we're friends. And I'm like, the time will come. Like, just wait. Like, so I was hoping at some point we could do like a fundraiser here and just invite
I
that
would
way you
love
could just
that.
meet them all.
By the way,
sign
that's
some
such
hats.
a flattering thing to hear. I still, Jesse, I know I don't have to tell you this, but I don't think of myself any differently than the same girl who grew up in Wrightsville Beach, North Carolina. All of the extra, the last name Trump, co-chair of the RNC, part of the First Family, all that stuff, it's amazing, but I don't even believe it most of the time. I still feel like the exact same person, and there's nothing that makes me feel better than knowing that I'm representing my hometown. Well, y'all are my people. That's it.
Right.
When people are happy about anything I'm doing in Wilmington and Wrightsville Beach, it's the most important thing, and it makes me feel really. I get goosebumps thinking about it because I'm just so grateful, and I'm honored anybody there thinks I'm doing a good job or whatever it is. So thank you. That's
And you
so
know
nice.
what? Our core, anyone that also loves the coast in the Southeast too. I just think we have a different bond and a lot of
We do.
with
We do.
animals.
People are
and just
genuinely still
giving.
friendly, and
Yes.
that Southern hospitality does stand true still. There's chivalry, and people still hold doors, and people drive down the street and still wave at strangers and smile, and there's nothing else you can get for free but a smile.
When I come home and I go for a run on the loop there at Wrightsville Beach, I mean, y'all know that. I'm honestly, it's so funny because I'll go out really early in the morning sometimes, and it doesn't matter what time it is. Everybody's like waving at you, like, good morning. I'm like, oh, I'm back in North Carolina. I love it. It's great.
Oh, well, this was great. We really greatly appreciate you taking the time. I know you got to run. You're a busy girl. And it's good to see you. But like I said, we'll make some plans. I got to get some hats signed, because if one more person asks me for a Lara Trump hat sign, I'm going to have to just...
Well, you know, I have one of the things that, like, I need another thing to do. One of the things I've worked on, gosh, I guess it's been like a year and a half now, which will probably be launching in the next month, is I have a fitness clothing line that I've been working on, and I'm going to launch it, I think sometime in September. I have a woman who's been helping me with it. There's no way I could do this on my own. And so I'm going to be really excited about that. And I'm going to have my own hats. So I'll bring some with me when I come home.
We'll try to get some men's stuff in there. Some,
Oh, yeah.
maybe.
I got
Laura, two things here. One is that I need to run the loop with you, and your mile is definitely going to be better than my mile. And secondly, I need to come work for you. I mean, you've got multiple businesses. You've got the family. She
has a travel company.
I do. So. I started my side hustle because corporate America just got to a place where, playing with the big dogs.
I love that. That's what this country's all about. That's what we need to be championing. I think that's great. That's how some of the greatest companies and greatest ideas come from people who are like, I can't. Enough is enough. I'm just going to do this on my own, and look where it's gotten people. It's amazing. So good for you. I think that's awesome.
Thank you. I know. Life's all about opportunity.
And by the way, too, my friend Rick with the skincare stuff. I do want to. He's like, get her some of the skin stuff so she can sample it. So I've had.
Like she said, you know the address.
It's been up here forever. I'm like, just give me your address.
Don't give me a good skincare, because you know I'll take it. Anything, honey.
Oh man, well listen, I love you, and you're always my friend, and it's gonna stay that way. And no matter what name you have or what your titles are, you're always one of my besties, and I love you for that.
Thank you. Right back at you. Love you too. Thank you. And I'm so proud of you, Jesse. The fact that your podcast is a year old now already, and all that you've done, and the way it's grown, and look at the set. Success.
It's so much better than the first time.
What an inspo, honestly. I'm proud of you, and I'm honored to be one of your friends. And same, right back at you. It will never change, and that's how, you're one of the OGs, like we all are. I love that.
Well, we're so proud of you here, and we're rooting for you. So let us know anything we can do to help out, and just be a part of whatever you need.
And as a female,
Great to see you today.
I just want to say thank you for your representation for all the women out there and what you're doing for the kids. So thank you.
Thank you. That's so nice. I appreciate it. More to
we'll
come,
see
I
you
hope.
soon.
Let's see.
We'll get back on that train, girl.
Yes, here we go.
We got an election to win. Let's do it. All right, bye.
Enjoy yourself.
Thank you, guys.
Pleasure.
Bye.
Bye.
This episode is brought to you by Dynamic Digital, North Carolina and South Florida's largest indoor digital billboard network. They install indoor advertising screens in high-traffic waiting areas and promote local businesses for a fraction of the cost of traditional advertising methods. Give them a call or reach out online now and grow your business. Find them at dynamicdigitaladvertisingnc.com. That's dynamicdigitaladvertisingnc.com. Thank you.